COPD is caused when bronchial pathways swell, soften, and collapse. And it causes it to be more difficult to exhale. Now, there are two methods that you can combat this disorder at home. One is diaphragmatic breathing, and the other is pursed lips breathing. Let's take a look at both. Diaphragmatic breathing is breathing into your diaphragm. So what you're going to do is breathe past your chest and lung area, deep into your diaphragm. Now, because this is an unusual form of breathing, I recommend when you begin to practice breathing about an inch below your navel. This will ensure that you'll access the diaphragm. The diaphragm sits right on the top of the belly, just below the lungs, and it's in the shape of a fist. Now, when you're breathing, the breathing is a coordinated effort. So you're going to breathe into the count of 2 and out to the count of 4, or into the count of 3 and out to the count of 6. The point being that you want to exhale twice as long as you inhale. That's diaphragmatic breathing. Now let's try that with our mouth open and audibly. Watch me. Into the count of 3, out to 6. Watch me. Okay, I'm making sure that I access the diaphragm by breathing about an inch below my navel. Now, when I exhale, I have to use a method of breathing called pursed lips. That means when I exhale, I'm going to be putting my mouth in the form of either whistling or blowing the trumpet. So it's going to look like this. Now what that does is it compresses the air, and it forces the lungs to work a little bit harder to get all of that contaminated oxygen out. Okay, so let's try that. Remember, into the count of 3, out to the count of 6, breathing well into your diaphragm and pushing hard. Ready? Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, pursed lips. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, pursed lips. Excellent. Okay, now here's an exercise that can help to loosen up the airwaves a little bit. What we're going to do is put our hands together. We're going to rotate to your left or right to the count of 3, and then we're going to pull the elbow back high on the count of 6. Now what this does, it causes compressing the lungs, and then it opens the lungs and helps with that release of oxygen. Okay, ready? Inhale to the count of 3. Exhale through pursed lips, count of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go to the opposite direction. Hands together. Into the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Out. Pursed lips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Now, with any new exercise, it can be a little coordination demanding, but with a little practice, you'll see that you'll get it relatively quickly. I recommend that when you're doing the exercise, you do it 6 times on each side. That was exercise number 1. Now exercise number 2, performing of Taji. Taji is the first move in our Yang 1 to 24 pattern. If you're not familiar with Taji, please go to the library, download it, take a look at it, review the details, basics, and then I'll meet you back here. I'm going to do it standing so I can put a little more pressure on my lungs when I deflate. That deflating process is very important for helping to expel that oxygen through those softened pathways. Okay, ready? So I'm going to be breathing into the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to deflate, exhaling through pursed lips, deflating, push that oxygen out of there, and then I'm going to inhale, expanding, breathing into my diaphragm. I'm going to exhale to the count of 6, forcing, push that oxygen out. I'm going to inhale into my diaphragm to the count of 3. I'm going to exhale to the count of 6, forcing that oxygen out, pushing hard. And now I'm going to relax. And again, when you do that exercise, you're going to want to perform it about 12 times. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today's session. I want to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and refer a friend.